People who experienced a 1 in a million freak accident, what happened? I never wore hats. Like ever. My whole life, hats just felt weird on my head, made me sweat, looked dumb, whatever excuse you want. My wife Kate thought it was the stupidest hill to die on, but I didn't care. Then last July, we planned this family hiking trip to Utah. Red Rock Canyons, those crazy formations you see in pictures, the whole deal. My 2 kids were hyped. I was hyped. But Kate kept nagging me about sun protection because I'm one of those guys who burns if I even think about going outside. The morning we left for the trailhead, she stopped at some random gas station gift shop and came back with the ugliest straw hat I've ever seen. Wide brim, floppy, had this stupid fake leather band around it. Looked like something a scarecrow would wear. "Put it on," she said. "Absolutely not. Your scalp is already pink and we haven't even started hiking yet." I argued for like 10 minutes, but she wasn't budging. My kids were laughing at me, so I gave up, slapped it on my head and said, "If I die, this hat better get buried with me." Everyone thought that was hilarious. We started the hike around 9 a.m. It was already hot, but the views were insane. Those red cliffs just tower over you, and the trail winds between these massive rock walls. About 3 miles in, I stopped to take pictures because I'm that guy who holds up the whole group for photos. Kate and the kids kept walking. They were maybe 50 yards ahead when I saw this sick angle of a rock arch. I stepped off the trail just a couple feet to get the shot without other hikers in the frame. That's when the ground disappeared. I didn't even have time to yell. 1 second I was standing, the next I was falling. It wasn't a long drop, maybe 10 feet, but I hit hard. My shoulder slammed into something sharp, and I felt this burning pain shoot down my arm. When I opened my eyes, I was sitting in dirt and gravel. My shoulder was wet. I looked down and saw blood soaking through my shirt. That's when I noticed it. A piece of rebar sticking straight up out of the ground, rusty and bent, coming out of some old busted pipeline half buried in the rocks. The rebar had gone straight through my hat. I'm not kidding. It pierced the top of the straw hat, punched through the crown, and kept going into my scalp. I could feel it scraping against my skull, but it stopped. It didn't go into my brain. It didn't crack my skull open. It just stopped. I sat there for a second, breathing hard, trying to process what just happened. My hands were shaking. I reached up slowly and touched the hat. The rebar was still inside it, and I could feel the weight pulling on my head. Kate came running back, screaming my name. When she saw me sitting there with blood on my shoulder and a metal spike through my hat, she went completely silent, just stared. "I'm okay," I said, even though I wasn't sure if I was. She pulled out her phone and called 911 while my kids stood there frozen. I didn't want to move because I didn't know if pulling the hat off would make it worse, so I just sat there like an idiot with a straw hat impaled on a piece of rebar. The paramedics got there faster than I expected. Apparently there's a ranger station close to that trail. They stabilized my head, carefully cut the hat free from the rebar, and got me on a stretcher. The whole time, one of the paramedics kept saying, "That's the craziest thing I've ever seen." At the hospital, they did a CT scan. The rebar had punched through the hat, gone about an inch into my scalp, and scraped along the outside of my skull, but it never penetrated the bone. The doctor said the layers of straw slowed it down just enough, like the rebar hit the dense weave of the hat and lost just enough force to stop short of killing me. He said if I hadn't been wearing the hat, or if it had been tilted even slightly to one side, the rebar would have gone straight into my brain. Instant death. No chance. I got 12 stitches in my scalp and had to wear a bandage for weeks. My shoulder was bruised to hell, but nothing broken. They sent me home the same day. Kate didn't say, "I told you so," but she didn't have to. The look on her face said everything.